not too much, it's gonna be really light. So don't forget, you can always get darker. Once you go dark, you can't go backwards. All right, you got your Kleenex. Okay, I mix my pigment with a fan brush. I brought out new ones. This is a number 4. So, I am going to mix, and I will use these colors again, so you don't want to pollute them. The other thing I do that most people don't do is I play with pure color. Okay? I don't mix anything up, and that way we get away from muddy paintings. Yeah, this is Antwerp. Isn't that nice? Antwerp. Isn't that nice blue?
And the other color.
What value is that? Yeah, not difficult, guys. It's either 1 or 2.
1 or 2.
And I would go with 1 because I can go 2 later. If it's too light, then I just make it darker. I'll never get a sky from the first shot anyways, and I know that. Okay, now, I'm gonna tilt the board because I think it's a good thing. And I'm gonna use this guy. Okay, so I use the squirt bottle. So I don't touch the paper any more than I have to. And I will go right over the trees and stuff. It's not gonna hurt anything, right? I mean, if you look at it, it's really not gonna affect much. Plus, I won't get a line. All right, and then I smoothen it out. Make sure that it's all nice and consistent. And I'll take the excess water off, and I will start at the horizon line. And I always, it's not a house, I paint in X's, something I learned when I was really, really young by my first art teacher. And then I'll put a little bit of red behind that tree there. That's just about right. And then I will finish it off. I'm using a number 4 fan brush, and it's a bristle brush, not a nylon brush. I don't allow them in my class, so I'll hide them and put them away. I'll lose it.
I have one, and then
I don't know
wondered,
if it
why
is
did
or-
I ever buy this
I
thing?
don't know if it is or not.
That's it.
This is not.
You don't have to go over it. Just let it dry, and if I need to go, I'll probably, you know what?
Yeah.
I will probably do another one
It
to
takes
make
the paint
that,
differently.
so it goes dark to light. Okay? All right, can you do that? Any questions with that?
What color, which yellow
Oh,
is that?
yes.
Lemon.
Oh, that's blue.
Lemon. Figures.
I could do that.
Now, did you tip it on purpose, or just so we could see better?
Did I what? Oh, no, when I do my washes, the color always follows the water, and the water will flow down, and the color will go that way too. So, and it eliminates puddles.
Yeah.
You can do that on the first wash, but if you've got 3 washes in there and it's taking you half a day, you're gonna create problems if you push the painting. So this isn't gonna create any issue here with me right now, because this is all gonna be darker than the sky, which really makes this little job up top quite easy. Okay, so now, using the same blue, I'm not gonna pull out the Payne's Gray just yet. And I'm gonna change my brush because I've got a number 4 here, and I'm gonna show you the trick. People like to find out how I get my textures. Well, this is the magic weapon right here. Okay. Now, I've got cedar trees, which is perfect with the fan brush. I got some yellow cedar, a little bit of red, and you notice how I repeat that down in here so they don't stand alone. And then there's this little system of yellow leaves. This is sort of on the verge of fall. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. So I am going to put, okay, what value is that? You guys are still mixing up a little too dark for me. What number is that?
1 or 2.
1 or 2? Yeah. Okay, there's blue underneath here. And there's green here. So what I do is I push and stab. And I probably could have blocked that out right there, which I didn't. You guys could do that maybe before you leave. Those little leaves, there we go, that's good enough for me. I'd much rather do that anyways, it looks more immediate. And there's green, so I'll throw yellow. That'll be the underpainting, and that's yellow in here. And then there's a little bit of red up in there, which I will play with. So this is what we call underpainting. You know, Jane Urquhart's book, The Underpainter?
Mm-hmm.
She was married to Tony Urquhart. Okay, so there's also green down, a little bit of green down there. I'm not gonna get so particular that if you guys don't get it, it's all right. I just want you to have a good drawing and a clean painting, like no mud. It's your first painting, you're forgiven, you know.
So you're not doing the sky because it's damp still, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's, you can tell because it's
Yep.
lifting a little bit,
Yep.
yeah. Now, this looks easy. You'd be surprised the number of people who struggle with this brush stroke.
Even after all these years.
Well, it's what, you know, I'm looking, I'm in my head, I'm painting and I'm looking for this. Not this. It's so easy with a fan brush to get That's not grass either. But I'm looking for the neutral, this weave that goes like this over top of one another. And then I put that on another layer. You do that 4 times, man, you're gonna have people, you know, their eyes are gonna be dancing. Going, how'd you get that? Gotta take McCarthy's workshop. Okay, there's a little bit of red down here. I'm not gonna fuss with it too much. And I'm gonna continue on with the blue. Okay, this is what not to do. You gotta be a bit limp-wristed. And you gotta come back here, hand on the hip.
And a little swayer.
Yeah, you gotta have some
Cost of
attitude.
pose.
Yeah, hey, I got this. And you push or you can drag, and I hold it back here. I don't know why, I just find it's gotta do a dance.
So it's bouncy.
So, yeah, and you get a little more bounce. See, look at that. Isn't that nice? Like, you can't do that with a zero brush. This is it. And
Number 2?
yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't know how I got onto it. I do not. Okay, I'm gonna now, I'm gonna,
Don't fill it entirely, right, Barry?
I
Just like
am, no, you leave white bits behind. Thank you, that's really good observation. You gotta leave white bits behind. You don't fill it all in, okay? So now, what I wanna do is, I'm gonna stay away from this area because it is the tree trunk. And then up in here is the cedar trees, and this brush is perfect for cedar trees. There's not a better piece of equipment to give you what you need. Just like that. So again, I'm leaving white bits behind, just like that. That's all I need to do right now. Okay? Rock and roll. Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. What number should I be at?
Two.
If I put this on top of that, it will almost make a 2 all by itself, so I would rather play light than dark.
So 1, 2?
Yeah, 1.5.
1.5, oh my.
Okay.
1.66.
And you know, when you guys have your puddles, make sure they're all even. Don't have one area of your puddle that's darker than the other. Like really spin it so it's nice and even. Okay? I mean, there's so many little things that you're missing. Okay, I don't want this any darker.
We need a chart of berryisms.
Berryisms.
You were with Tracy Moore, by the, on that trip. Tracy Moore from
Yeah,
City.
that's right. How
Yes,
did
I
you-
recognized.
Oh, yeah? Never really hung out much with her, but I painted her and her husband in a sailboat on the Indian Ocean.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, was
Yeah,
that
it's-
them?
yeah.
Oh, I
The girl in the
didn't know
hat,
that.
that's her. Yeah.
Oh, I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful picture.
Yeah, thank you. That was fun to paint.
Wow.
I got that from a cell phone image, which was
Wow.
so bad, I had to get a friend of mine who had the same body structure as Tracy's husband, who is a guitar player that I know, and he came into the studio and posed for me.
Well, it was
I don't like
beautiful.
telling my trade secrets, you know that? There's just some things you keep to yourself, but anyways, that was fun. Otherwise I wouldn't have, and the other thing I'll admit to, something which I never admit to, I never paint from other people's photographs. But with that, Linda was a friend that was on the trip with me, and I painted that from her photo because I wasn't on that excursion, which I kicked myself because that was an awesome excursion, and she had this amazing photo, and oh my God, Linda, that's a painting. She goes, well, you can borrow it if you want. I go, oh, geez, no. And then I said, next day, I went, okay.
I give in.
Yeah, I had to because the photo was just spectacular.
But you captured the color of the water, like that water.
That was so
Just like
hard.
you felt like you were there.
Thank you.
All right, you have to show us tomorrow, because you can't do this. to us.
Oh, my God, it's beautiful.
You don't know the painting?
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
Okay, I'm just gonna feather it now, make sure the water and all the color is, and I don't have any particular pattern, I just make big X's. I think I swept that 5 times and I get out of there. It's not like I'm, you know, you don't need to do that, okay? Okay, I'm done with the sky, maybe a little, maybe one more up there. Okay, I'm working at a number 4 now, I only want one more layer of blue to go from dark to light. And I wanted to pick up on your question last night when I stumbled with my answer because it was a good question. You said, why can't you get the blue right away instead of building your layers? And then I saw this morning and I thought, well, I've got an answer for you. Process of watercolor. Now, I follow this religiously. In the top list there's 5 or 6 processes. Light to dark, know where your white areas are, so you get the plan. And, you know, and while you're doing that, you get to visualize, you know, what the thing's gonna look like while you're painting. Warm to cold. You can't put a cold color over top of a, yes you can. You can't put a warm color over top of a cold color. So that might even be wrong. Wet to dry. So as the day progresses today, we're going to eliminate the amount of water. Sunday is going to be dry brush only. So we'll be working drier plates and building on our paper. Inside, outside, I mentioned that last night, background to foreground. So after the sky, where do you think our next movement should be? Where do you think we should concentrate?
Trees.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So we'll build this up and then we'll come over here. Down here, I think after lunch,
Here,
I think we will,
you're left-handed.
yeah,
I was thinking the same thing.
So you're building from the right to the left, but for the right-handed, do we build from the
No,
Left to the
no,
right.
'cause this is the
I,
trees.
you know what, that's a really good question. I would do it anyways, like I would still work background because it's layering,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna have some of this stuff overlapping these trees. This is, because I don't mix any color, right? So I'm using pure color, and I don't mix until I'm halfway through the painting. So it'll go up to a number 4 or 5, and it's actually really hard to look at. Okay, because it's color right out of the tube. So if you mix 2 secondary colors, you're gonna get mud. You mix a secondary color with a primary color, you're gonna get some mud. Especially like green and red. Like that's, holy shit. That doesn't even sing, that color. You wanna bury that with a shovel, you know? It's so dead, right? So, but if you mix these 2 primaries together, you get wonderful secondary colors. And that's what I'm based on, okay? So you can tell all the colors that are underneath this painting. So again, trying to evaluate where you wanna be. What's the color underneath the water? Yeah,
What did you say?
yellow.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
yellow too. I was too
Yeah,
afraid to
yellow
say it.
and maybe a little bit of orange.
Yeah,
But in the
get a
darkest
little bit.
area, you've got some sepia and burnt sienna going on, right? And it's clean,
It's clean.
and it plays off clean blue over here. So it's clean. I mean, you don't get bogged down with the value. And even all up and through here, you got some nice bright colors coming through, but it sits back. And in the end game, remember we talked about harmony. This is what you end up with. If all the colors are at the same value, and maybe that's the other reason why I don't paint that blue right away, I'm wanting those levels to be perfect. So, you know, that if this was too dark, it would hit you between the eyes when that's gotta sit back. So that's why I do it. I plan, I tiptoe. This paper only takes 4 washes now. The old stuff used to take 7. So, another thing I wanted to mention over here, repetition is a really big thing for me. If I want to get balance, I put, oh, hang on, oh, it's over here, sorry. If I want to get balance, there's a cross here, and I have 4 boxes. So the rule is, if you want to use a red somewhere, you should have it in 3 of the 4 boxes. If you want to use yellow, you want to repeat it, doesn't matter which box, it'll balance it out. It'll go, oh.
You can see the pink or red in that in 3 boxes.
Yeah, and I consciously do it. If it's not over here, I'll throw it in the water if I have to. There's some red down in here, right? And yellow, yellow, yellow. So yellow, I got it in most cases. I
That's
don't.
interesting.
Yeah. If you've got a color that you've never used anywhere else in the paint, you can get away with it if you put it in the middle. And your eye will go to it. It doesn't need to be repeated, but if you're off center and off to the 3rd, you gotta have it in 2 other
Somewhere.
places. You just have to. And you know, that is for me, when I jury shows and I see these paintings that are unbalanced, I throw them out right away. It's like, there's no way I'm gonna put my name on that painting because it's unbalanced. They don't know color theory. Well, they've only got one color on one side of the painting. It's like doing this. You gotta
I see, okay.
you gotta have 3 of the 4 boxes occupied with either the same quality of line, shape, form, color, or texture. You can't introduce anything bizarre unless it's in the middle. The eye will always track down white, always. And why is that? Why is that? See, when I come up with that statement, I'm going, okay, well, it's true, that's true. But why is that? Why does that happen? So I'm painting away and I'm trying to analyze what my own philosophy is. And it's quite simple. Flowers always grow and reach to the sun. Things on the planet reach for the sun. And we should be painting accordingly. If the universe dictates certain rules and laws and principles, we should be following them.
No, not yet.
Makes a good teacher.
Yeah.
So much information in that head you're trying to get out.
Well, you know, again, yes, that's true. I mean, the beginning, the first bits of the workshop is a lot of dialogue, lots of theory. You just have to know some things. No, I wouldn't do that, but I did have a kid fall asleep on me once, and I couldn't believe it. So it was just almost before the bell, and I told everybody, I said, pack your bugs up. We're gonna sneak out, and then we'll watch him when he wakes up when the bell goes.
Time,
Yeah.
and whoever was closest to the time, everybody put in a loony, and whoever was closest won the bet, every single
We're
class.
gonna get in trouble for that now.
Okay, watch this. This is something you don't do. Like I just put a dark blue down here. You never add water to a dark area. It's called a backwash. So all I'm doing is, I'm sorry to interrupt, Connie. I
No,
was just,
I
I was
finished.
panicking because I'm going, oh my
Drawing.
God,
It's
that
okay.
is like really bad. I'm
But
just
you're-
feathering. Now I'm working really fast. Where's my hake brush?
I don't see it.
I don't either.
Here's one.
Ah, thank you. Where's mine though? Mine's bigger. Okay.
That one works
Okay, I'm
fine.
gonna go. Yeah. I'm gonna pull away from the yellow and the red, cause I don't,
Want green.
yeah, I don't want them. And now I'm just evening the water out.
Did you mean to go that dark?
No.
I did because it'll dry light.
Interesting.
Did the
There.
paper underneath?
It'll dry light, it'll be fine. If I want a little bit of red in there, I'll put it in later, but I'm okay. I'm happy with it. Actually, I'm glad I made that mistake. Now you know what to do. If you run into, don't panic, just kind of go, you know, it's still wet. You can play with it. The pigment always goes to where the water is. Okay, remember that.
What mistake did you just make?
I made it too dark, and it was actually because I was talking. This part of the painting was starting to dry out.
I was gonna say it was drying.
And I was running into the red, and if I pushed it over, I would lose that little red, bit of
Okay.
red there. So I had to work fast and brush it out of the way, even it out. Okay, and then I did it from the yellow. I didn't pull down because I would have lost the yellow.
Pulled up,
So I went up.
Okay.
Okay? All right, guys? Now that you got this, see how that dried? I like that.
Oh.
Once I start darkening up all around that, that'll be celebrated.
Let's see if it's truly a 4. You said it was a 4?
Oh, look at this.
Is that 4?
I can't transfer colors.
What do you think? It's a grayscale, so.
Yeah.
It's very close.
I got
This
blue
one
and
goes,
gray.
this one goes the opposite way. It goes 1 dark to 9. That's the problem with this one.
Well, let's do it my way.
Yeah.
Oh, I like,
White paper 0.
that's how I do it.
I did
That's
my
what was confusing me. I was
way.
going, what? Just reverse the numbers.
Okay, being left-handed, Brad, I'm over here.
Oh, what's it
My
called?
water's on the left.
Swirl your puddles. What are we doing?
We're doing,
Lemon
we're
yellow.
doing puddles, but not
spin
real
your
wet
puddles.
puddles. We're not washing. Kim got caught last night working wet into wet, so all of her technique, the fan brush, got blurry. So that's what happens. I'm gonna actually make that just a little darker by adding airline.
Who's king? Who's king? You
I
king?
think I have this
Oh.
much double down here to start with.
Well, okay, tips of trees, blue and purple. Why is that? Because you want them married to the sky. And the brain will just kind of go, tree. The sky's never blue, and he's right. Airline,
What?
Oh, yeah.
airline yellow.
That wasn't on
It's just to darken it up a little bit. But I'm using it with lemon yellow, okay?
So
And
is
I'm
there-
only doing it because
Is there another name for it? Is there another color?
cadmium.
Oh, okay.
Went to see Georgia O'Keeffe's gallery.
In Santa Fe,
Yeah.
and
Just standing there looking at all her work around you, it was just amazing.
I have one little funny story about her. She sold a painting to the Museum of the MoMA, I guess, the Museum of Art in New York. And for like 30 years, they hung it upside down. And she never said a word.
She had a sense of humor, but she did, well, she had her students work for and paint for her because she couldn't see.
Oh, interesting.
But she knew color and what she wanted,
Yeah,
so she just basically described it to them.
I'm not changing colors. They're from the same family.
Yes, so are you
Okay.
going, are you going to the tip of those trees?
I
To the
am.
top?
I am. Actually, I'm gonna test it out here first. I had too much water on. And yeah, I probably polluted that too much. But as a rule, I always paint my tree tips blue and purple.
Atmospheric perspective.
It is, it makes it look like they're a little further away. And to get down into these guys here, the edges, I'll grab my number 3 or 4. I got a 4. I think I can get away with a 4. And I'm gonna very quickly scumble. This is another painting technique. It's called scumbling. Did you know that, and this is what Van Gogh taught us, any mark that a pencil makes on a piece of paper is a legitimate drawing technique. Think about that. Because he did everything. He scumbled. Like he would swirl his pencils and go this way and then go up and down. And if you look at some of his drawings, it's like they go every which way. And right there, I realized that that is a legitimate drawing technique. Because he made it work. It's all about lights and darks. So I scumble, I spin, it creates a little texture, and I paint fast, because I want to, and I want to get this thing going for you guys.
There was a story about a Van Gogh drawing. It hung in this house for just a small drawing, ages, and then the parents passed away, and the kids are like, why the heck have they got this scribble on
Oh my
the
God,
wall?
really?
Yeah, so, the one child, adult child said, just donate it. And the other one was like, they must have hung it for something. It was worth 1.5. Yeah.
I've got a story for you.
Did the family get the money?
I love that. That is so cool. When I was a kid, going to university, okay,
You can say what you want.
you know I love the Dutch, and I always tease Connie about that because she's Dutch.
So am I.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, God bless you.
So is Hannah.
My grandchildren are Dutch. So anyways, long story short, she hired me. She liked what I was doing. She goes, I want you to come paint my house. And like a painting.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do rollers for money.
My living room needs time.
Yeah. Anyways, I show up and I set my chair up on the lawn, and it's a beautiful stone farmhouse in Guelph. And so I'm out there all morning and I'm drawing away, about to do a watercolor. And she comes out, she goes, are you hungry? I goes, yeah, you know what, I could eat something. She goes, well, then, finish up what you're doing and come into the house. So I go in, and she sits me down. She's got 2 lovely daughters, and we finish, and she goes, when you're done, I want to go into the living room and show you something. I was okay. I have no idea what's going on. We go into the living room, and off into the corner, in this little dark corner beside the fireplace, is a little tiny painting. And she goes, you know who that is? I goes, yeah, I know, I recognize VG. I said, that's a Vincent van Gogh. She goes, you're right. my father, when the Germans occupied Holland, it's the only thing he took out of the house.
Oh,
He
wow.
tucked it underneath his raincoat and made the great escape. I went, oh my God. And I'm looking around, there's no bars in the windows. I goes, you know what this thing's worth? It's worth more than your house. She goes, oh, I know. I don't tell everybody I have it.
You're giving me goosebumps.
Oh, what a moment though. I've never forgot. I was just a kid, right? And I'm going, I am so impressed. Holy jumping. And she was so nice, this woman. She was a real estate agent, making a very good living for herself. And no husband, just these 2 daughters. And I think she was doing okay. And that was the end of that. I never saw her again.
Because she sold to Van Gogh and she's off exploring the world.
I don't think so. I think it reminded of her dad, and
Yeah.
that was
Stay in
gonna
the
stay in the
family.
family.
Yeah.
The girls were gonna get that painting. And it was a little, cute little painting. I mean, it wasn't a masterpiece or anything, but
No,
it
What was
wasn't
it,
very big, and it was a Van Gogh.
but it was a
What was
master's
the subject
painting.
matter?
It was a master's painting.
Or what was the subject matter?
I can't remember. I think it was probably a landscape, but I'm sorry, it was so long ago, it was 1973. 45 years ago. Okay, you watching what I'm doing as I'm yakking away?
Yes.
Blowing my concentration?
And you're absolutely not looking at photos, so you're just from memory?
Yeah, well, sort of,
Doing trees.
this is underpainting, so I'm kind of looking at where the yellows are and where the blues are, and that's kind of on my mind right now. Off into the distance, back in through here, I often get away with creating a little bit of mist, so I make it blue, not yellow. And blue says distance. Cool colors, I would like to say come forward, and warm colors come forward, cool colors go back, as a general rule. Okay, that's good enough for now. Okay, while I'm in there, hang on, while you're waiting for things to dry, and the one thing about watercolor is you can, if you're strategic, you can actually paint all day long waiting for places in certain
Yeah.
areas to dry and not wait for stuff. So I can paint solid, and oil paint does not do that for you. Okay, this is almost solid all in through here, because it doesn't receive any light. And as the light comes through and behind that wall, this is the Irvine River, and this is the Grand River. You probably knew that. So I am going to just scumble some texture in there without any rhyme or reason. Eventually I'll get a little dimension going, and because I love the fan brush.
You're scumbling with a dry brush, right?
I am. This is, wet into dry. Okay? And this will be, that ain't happening. Watch you don't load too much water up on the fan brush. And I like the big blotches that it leaves behind. Sometimes I do it intentionally, and it take an hour or 2 to dry, like that one there. Love that one. Love that.
When you were doing the yellow and the blue, that was,
I was like,
one. Yellow and the blue, yeah, no,
your previous step right here.
Was that,
red into dry, yeah.
so why would I
Yeah.
want to disrupt that?
no, you need to do what you need
Okay,
to
and a
do.
little darker back in here because it doesn't receive any light. Okay, guys, that's pretty much where I want to be with that. And that's how you get texture. And I guess most of the time, I kind of start pushing the brush forward like that. So I just mix it up. I just like what it leaves. And up here. And I'm thinking maybe a little bit of red up in there in the corner. Not gonna hurt anything. I miskitted my leaves, so I can paint over top of them. I'm gonna introduce another color here in a minute. What color do you think that would be? Cause I gotta paint the rock.
Oh, sepia?
Never, yes, purple, thank you. Purple, I love
Windsor?
Windsor violet. Now, eventually, I'm gonna mix Windsor violet with, Payne's gray.
Is that Payne's gray? Yes.
This is Payne's gray. So, I'm gonna let the purple dominate though. I just wanted to knock the sharpness of the violet. So I did that, and I met some guys who were, you know, pretty talented, and we all kind of hung out together and admired each other's work. And then Dave, who got me started, actually quit my summer job. He goes, Barry, you got to quit work and start painting full time. I goes, man, I got to go to school. He goes, that's all right. I'll look after you. So he did. He got me into all these shows, and we started up a group called Toronto. And Dave is still alive today. He's an amazing painter. And he was just a really good guy who believed in what I was doing. And I know, you know, and he was a really, really nice guy. Just funny and good painter. Went to OCAD.
Barry, what are those colors again?
I'm using Payne's gray. I'm trying to watch I don't spit.
Yeah.
Payne's gray, and just to tone it down a little bit,
Violet.
Payne's gray and violet. Violet is the color I kind of want it to. So it's working okay. I don't mind it. I want to get some red in there. So now I'm starting to punch the colors around a bit. It's all underpainting.
It's all under.
This is all underpainting. This is like the second layer. I'll probably eventually get to 4. So just, I'm noticing there, I want a little bit of orange up in here. So I'm gonna grab some orange. And you gotta watch the orange. Oh my God, it'll kill a painting. Holy jumping.
How come you
Stuff.
don't mix a little bit of the red with the yellow, the orange?
I could. I could, but I like orange. My car's orange. My motorcycle's orange.
What color
That's
orange is
My
that?
winter jacket is
That
orange.
doesn't look orange.
Where's Connie? It's orange.
That doesn't look orange.
Just so you know, Juanita's as equally as Dutch as I am.
Doesn't look orange.
So is Hannah.
It Windsor orange, so it's probably got a little bit of red in it.
Yeah.
But you gotta watch, man, oh man,
Can we use one of your?
it'll kill a painting. So I always go back in just to make sure. I dip in and oh my God, even that's too strong. So I'm just, there we go. That nice orange with a little bit of red around it.
My orange does not look like that. Mine looks like a pumpkin.
Is that cadmium
Just be
orange?
careful, yes. Cadmium with a red shade.
So.
Okay, so just be careful.
Could add a little alizarin with it to change the strong orange look?
Yeah, you
With
could.
mine
Yeah, you
color.
could. But just be careful, we're at number 2, number 3 values. Okay, that's, now, I'm gonna do one thing and then you can escape. Watch what I'm doing. What's the value there? 1.5 maybe? I'm actually gonna go in and put it back into the water. I'm gonna push ahead.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm going to go right over top of my drawing. But what I have done in the past is I'll let that dry and then I'll start to draw this with a maybe some Payne's gray and define some of these little rock bits so I don't lose the detail. And then maybe a little bit of sepia. And when that's done, I'll go right over top of everything with this Payne's gray and maybe some sepia to get that gray color. But I don't want to be drawing with a paintbrush, is basically what I'm saying. And I'm gonna introduce some of that down in here. Again, you can't have those colors isolated. I will eventually stick it over there somewhere to fill in the third box.
This little triangle here, you have some
Yeah,
stuff in it.
very
like
good.
This and this.
Very good. Okay, what time is it? Because, okay. All right, I could, and I'm going to. If I was at home, I was painting by myself, I would block in the water. Okay, I didn't want to do that till after lunch, but I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. What value should we be playing with? And which blue should we be using? One or two, yes, very good. And what blue should I be using? Yeah, sky blue. So we can repeat what's down there. So you gotta be careful. So,
So wet and dry again.
wet into dry, exactly. Yep.
So you didn't spray that like you
No.
did in the sky?
No, it would disappear.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it would disappear. It would be too soft. Now this edge needs maybe a little more definition, so I gotta pull out a little brush
And
and draw that out. And I'll leave it broken like that. I don't wanna fill it all in. I need a very quick brush. Because what I'm gonna do is that.
What size brush again?
I got a 1.
You do know those little inlets things.
Yeah, but not overly finicky. The brown will take care of that. That's probably on Sunday.
so when you do the brown, it's gonna come over that blue?
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
yeah. Or beside it, you know,
Yeah, close.
if I'm accurate here, I could almost make it right side by each. Okay, and then yellow. I don't know what that is. It looks weird. I'm gonna make it water. So to add weight, volume, mass, remember that principle? Dark kind of down here and light as we go up. So this water is going to be dark. This is definitely going to be dark. So I'm thinking that. And down in here, I probably have a little bit of purple and Payne's gray that goes over top of the blue. Okay, this needs a bigger brush. This brush is too small for that big job. Okay, I'm going to be doing this. Okay? So we're going to use a bigger fan brush.
I already forgot the first one.
And I'm gonna go light. I'm gonna play safe because orange is gonna be going into there.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, look, so you used the 2 yellows.
Yeah, that yellow is mixed with, whatever you say.
With the airline,
Hair.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
And water always swishes back and forth, right?
Okay.
And reflections, you drop them down. That's a lesson I learned when I was like 10. I was taught by a woman who is absolutely lovely. She was my mom's friend, and they played bridge together. And trying to find somebody in Thunder Bay that painted was almost impossible.
Oh, that's awesome.
And her husband had graduated from OCAD. That's the closest I ever got to a real artist. And he was a nice man, but it was his wife that I gravitated to. She invited me into her kitchen every Saturday morning to paint while she did the vacuuming.
Really?
Yes, she was a saint.
See, if she
And
were
she-
smart,
she
she would've
was-
had you vacuuming and she would've painted.
She was good. She was a flower painter.
Introducing the next generation.
She was a flower painter, but you know what she taught me more than anything is how to look and see. And she would always ask me, you know, Barry, did you do your homework this week? No, Mrs. Coslet, I didn't. She goes, you're supposed to study something for 5 minutes every day.
Really?
And I went, okay. So finally, it dawned on me, I'm riding my bike home from school, I gotta do my homework. So I pull over and I'm in the ditch and I'm studying foliage and weeds and how they're built, and I pulled them out. So I was really excited with myself. So that Saturday,
That's the best. start
Barry,
ever.
did you do your, yes, Mrs. Coslet, I did. Just one day though, that was the start because I haven't stopped. I look at something every day that's off the charts, and that's how you build up your memory bank. Remember that. You give honor to Mrs. Coslet. She's in my books. She was a lovely lady, and she gave her Saturdays to me. So I'm grateful.
Gorgeous.
This is Payne's Gray
Yes.
and Windsor Violet.
Uh-huh.
I'm just looking for a nice, rich, dark value, which isn't gonna disturb this wall. Eventually, I may go back in here and put some sepia over top of this. So all I'm doing now is I'm drawing. I'm defining the rock that's in this wall and the strata that you find in the gorge. So the gorge is made up of limestone, and it cracks and breaks. It has all of these broken. And there's little squares that come out because other bits around it fall out. So they leave these little square bits. So I always say, if you want to paint something correctly, understand its structure. You want to build a house, learn how to draw one. And limestone's fun to paint. It really adheres to the fan brush technique, which is why I think I can get quite successful with the texture of the rock with a fan brush.
So are the rocks in the water limestone as well?
Yes, the whole gorge is it's all limestone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Most of Fergus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most of
And all the
Fergus.
little stone
All
houses.
the houses, yeah.
Okay, so if you watch what I'm doing, there's no particular rhyme or reason. You just have to watch what I'm doing. I'm drawing from 40 years of experience. And you know what? There's just some things I do don't have words.
Okay.
It's just simple as that. It's rocking and shocking. Is that what you said? Shocking. Shocking, rocking. Okay, I'm looking for a particular tool that's gonna give me my rock. And I don't think, that'll do it. Okay, it's a 2 and a 1. I'm gonna start off with a 1. I'm gonna try to get to a number 2 because this is all number 2. Okay? All right. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make these straight little lines, and then every so often I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna make a square like that. And it's broken. It's a broken line, which gives it a little more character. And it's, I'm using the texture of the paper. So anytime I see a little square like that, this is what I do. I'm just looking for moisture now. I'll go around it and I'll leave it light. And then I'll kind of, so it doesn't look like bricks, right?
Yes.
So I'm scumbling around it, and then I'll make the odd little drop down. There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right there. Some of them are long. Some of them are very squarish. And the dry brush, we will do a lot on Sunday, but it is a very, you know, it's only difficult because it's slow. But it's painting. It's really what painting should be, something a little inventive, something that's calculated and something that isn't calculated. That's painting. Okay, you see what's going on there?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to get too fussy with it, you can't do every one. So that's why I break it up, and I'll come back and maybe pull a rock out of this stuff.
And that's gonna dry lighter too.
It'll dry lighter, yeah. And to sell the whole thing, you only have to paint, you know, maybe 10 that look like rock, and the rest you just fake it, really. Okay, so you can see I'm trying to capture and recapture the straight line, and of course, you know, good painting always comes from observation. Okay, so you can see how I'm just kind of dancing around, but the odd time I stop and I pull out the odd little rock, and I'm gonna do that up in here, and then there's a hollow in here, so I need this scumbled a little bit, but I don't want it to stick out, so be careful, you guys are,
Color.
yeah, with color and value.
Value.
Your values are too dark, and it's gonna be a real problem in the end, because it's gonna be too dark. So you'll never go wrong if you know, pull the strata, the layering of the limestone like that, and then kind of erase it. Don't, you know, don't dwell on it. So I'm already liking that, right? And then just to mix it up a little bit, because the eye likes variety, I'm going to use, I'm not trusting my brush here. I am gonna stay with the same value and do this. And I'll go back in here and make those little, yeah, the scumbly little rock bits like that.
Oh my gosh.
Rock isn't easy, I'm not gonna say it is.
No.
It's just that you have to understand what it does. Okay? Okay, now I'm not gonna stop there because I like what was going on. So I'm gonna put this texture over top of this texture, and I'm gonna show you what it's like to have those two textures coming together. I really like what happens when I push the brush. And here's another, the other one is this one. Puddles, yeah. So we're breaking for lunch, so I'm doing this so that by the time we get back here, a lot of them will be dry. And I like going to bed and leaving these behind. They're so much fun. But you gotta watch you don't kill your sky with that. Okay, so I could even come in here and put that right beside the yellow, let them blend in a little bit. Up in here. Yellow and purple don't mix. If you put them in the plate, it's like, ugh, good. That is an awful color.
Yeah, they would get muddy so fast.
Oh, no kidding. And it deadens your painting. So I'm gonna throw some green in here, so maybe some yellow over top of the purple. So now we get to play a little bit with color on top of color, but still, the plates are still clean, right? We're just putting them side by each. Okay, is that enough? I'm looking for, what I've done here, I'm looking for little squares. Okay? And I'm not gonna use that color. I wanna put some brown in there now. I'm gonna switch it up. And I'll put in some burnt sienna. And I'm gonna go to this color scheme now and just go over top of the Payne's Gray and Windsor Violet, if you saw me spin that. That's got a little depth to it. Okay. Watch what I do. I think, I know it's gonna be hard to emulate, but it's really where you wanna be. It's fast painting. I'm thinking of these little squares. I'm thinking of the sections that they exist in, which is the strata, because limestone is layered, sedimentary, layered limestone with little chunks coming out. So that's what I'm painting. And then when I get some of these figured out, I'll let them dry, and then I'm gonna go over top of it with this brownie burnt sienna to bring this back into the painting. So, you know, you gotta be thinking, where do you wanna be with your painting now? Okay, you gotta be clever enough to leave some white paper behind, because that adds to the sparkle. And it does this, and it jumps around. And there's no rhyme nor reason or pattern. There is kind of, but don't make it so obvious. That's painting, okay? And it's not easy, I know that. Okay, here we go. I just need a little more vehicle to get me moving. So again, this is yin yang in painting. Fast, slow. Irregular, don't lay them down like bricks. Even if you get some of it, the rest is going to be fan brush, so it doesn't matter, right? The eye is going to see it as, oh, those are little rocks, okay. So I'm doing this because I'm trying to pick up the texture of the paper. I don't want a really hard outline. Just a little bit of water, because I'm going to take my brush now and I'm going to drag it. Watch. And I move around. I don't stay in the same spot. Some of you are just, yeah, it's like nailing a board. Move that, move those nails around.
The hammer going.
Yeah. So it's like that. Now here I could have a little bit of fun concentrating on pulling a certain series of little rocks and then get out of there. Just scumble it out. Okay, any questions with what I'm doing?
What size brush is that? One or two?
Good question. It's a one.
One.
And how, do we go as high as what you've done there, or do we bring it up higher?
What's that?
Do we go, like, you've gone up,
Yeah, I'm
essentially
gonna,
up to there, but are you gonna go higher than that?
yeah, I am. I'm gonna go all the way up. And then, yeah, I like sandpaper. I'm not a big fan of sandpaper. I do have my own particular brands. Winsor Newton, I never go wrong. I know always what to expect. They have the most beautiful Payne's gray.
It's a dark.
It's, well, I just want, there, that's fine. I like that green. That's the green I want.
Essentially you have purple, Payne's, brown, and green all mixed
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, but they're not dirty. It's not dirty. Gotta be careful though. Could get dirty. You should have seen me work on the green on this one. Holy cow. Okay, what am I doing? Right, tree. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna paint around this tree to make this one come forward. And I'm gonna use kind of a funky little brush stroke. Don't get carried away. What's at the top of the trees?
An eagle.
Blue. Blue.
Right, or purple.
Blue and violet. And violet, I think.
Eagle, who said that?
Not me.
Not
I
me.
said an owl.
Wasn't me, it was the one or a man.
Bald eagle.
Every time I see a painting with a seagull in it, I think of you.
I know, so do I.
Oh, Mr.
Oh, thank you.
Well, don't
Holy
put
jeez.
that- No,
Seagull.
don't
There's
put-
a compliment.
Don't put the seagull in there, right?
Barry, why do you not like birds in your
You had a
sky?
bird in one of your.
Because it's a cop-out.
It's a random.
Back in the 60s and 70s, that's what we did when we didn't know what we were doing. I'm not kidding, I did it.
But there is
We
birds in
put-
the sky.
Yeah, but it's tacky. Seagulls, painting seagulls, come on, guys. I
But
pride
just wondered-
myself
I
in
just wondered
certain,
why.
you know, I have a certain reservation to it.
Somebody told me one time, you shouldn't paint a flying bird because they never get to sit down. Like they're always, you're never gonna get anywhere.
Well, you can get the
Sorry,
illusion
I'm
of
listening to you.
a tree flicking in the wind with light, but how do you get a bird to look like it's flying without being
The wind.
pitchy?
Somehow you can blur the wings out. And the other prejudice I have is Robert Bateman did enough birds to feed the world.
True.
That the edge of that rock,
No, you're all fine. No, don't worry. That's good.
mostly scumbling. Uneven. We want it uneven. It's not a house. Not painting a wall, not the kitchen. Don't be offended about that. I just find that funny. Okay, then I'm gonna come down here. See this? This is how we separate the trees. This side stays a little bit lighter, like that. And then this down in through here, a little bit lighter, but it's gotta be uneven. Up in here. And I pull up. See it coming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such
Okay.
a better
Right?
Just go and do
Just- And then in here, once this dries, I'll come in here and give you that 3D,
Another shade.
and then leave this pure yellow. I just put a line down there. So it's like that. And then I'll just finish this for you here, all the way down to the bottom, right there,
What's
right
going
down
on?
there. Right up against, I got some miskit on the edge. Because I sometimes don't trust myself. And then there's a rock right in here that introduces the white to the red. I love this area. I could sit here for an hour just picking away, going, oh man, play the contrast game. I love it.
The difference between the watercolor of this and the oil painting of this is that the oil painting, you exaggerated the colors even more.
That's
Am I-
possible,
Yeah.
yeah.
What are you thinking of when you're doing color?
To be honest with you, I'm trying to get the oil as close to the watercolor as possible. Because all the experimentation that I do in my painting goes in the watercolor. So when I go to do an oil painting of it, it already works. So why mess with something that's working? So if I miss on that, then it's just my own inability to paint like the watercolor. And the medium is different.
Yeah. I
Like,
know the
oh my
medium,
God,
but
what was I doing?
Don't you find oil's a bit more vibrant, intense?
Yeah, it can be. The difference is like painting with water versus painting with butter,
Oh, yeah.
right? It's different.
Or cheese.
Yeah, it's different. Anyways, questions with this? And a little bit of blue. And that'll make your eye follow from the sky into the trees. And your eyes and your brain will still say, oh, that's a tree. So there's my purple. I got blue and violet in there. And then I'm gonna let that dry and then finish it off with a dark green, Payne's gray, because that is gonna go into here. Okay? Now, actually, I'm going to, yeah, laminate paper, when it gets wet, it's like toilet paper. I wrote a letter to Andrew Wyeth one day, and he uses Winsor Newton paper. His wife told me. I thought, oh, that's nice. I got a really nice letter from her. Okay, here we go.
What number brush is that, Barry, that you're using?
I don't know.
Is that the 000 or the? Or
It's a one.
It's a 1? Everybody have a 1 out.
Yeah, he told us that 1 and 2, and I'm going, that big painting, and a 1 and a 2.
Now, because I've been so calculated, I get restless with myself, and I just wanna kinda kick it a bit, like, just go nuts with it being on the crazy side, without ruining the value, just. Now I'm working wet in the wet, which is really, really a nice feeling for me. I've got some green going on in this plate, so this is, I'm just fortunate to have a plate like this. It's actually not as wet as I thought it would be, so I'm gonna add a little water. Ooh, I gotta be careful. I gotta let some of the white of the paper come through the other end, because the birds have to fly somewhere. And they're
Just
flying
don't
through
land
these.
in the sky.
You wanna get to the other side without much effort. And that is a theory, when you paint trees, you put holes in the trees for the birds to fly through. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
Did I say, is that a Barryism?
When
That's very
It's
good,
the
I'm
same
glad,
with
if you
your
guys know
roses,
that,
you
that's
make
cool.
them so- That's how you trim your roses too, don't let all the stems grow, you have to open like this, so. See the butterflies, they go through, and the
Oh my
bees,
God.
and the wind.
You guys. Okay.
It's so neat, you can put it all over.
And if you get a bouquet of roses and they're all tight, then you turn them upside down and go like this.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, fresh.
Now I'm putting purple underneath this color, and I don't care if it's in the original, it's just that's what I see in my brain, and I want it. I love purple, any chance I get to use it, I will. And maybe a little bit of alizarin crimson up in here. And this is yellow, I'm gonna be coming into the yellow now. So actually, there's some orange up in here. So it's pretty hard to continue painting without moving back, right? So the blue is that nice transition. I'll wait for that to dry a little bit, but look at that, that's fun, right? So, let me get this going. Not going right to the edge. Right over the leaves. And there's a little bit of green in here, which I will put in.
Wow.
This is where it gets to be a lot of fun. You get to take some chances.
Tricky.
I mean, how can you lose?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Oh, you can.
You got a day and a half invested.
For a while. I was just
It's all
saying though,
over in
when you
30
do
seconds.
it, of course it looks wonderful. When I do that, it looks like mud. And
Oh.
how do you stay away from overdoing it, I guess, overworking it? Cause you still got
Practice.
light in there.
I try, I think,
See, he's
because I
bouncing.
still leave,
He's bouncing.
I still leave white of the paper. Okay, so, we gotta bring the green over here, because there's green in here. And I'm gonna throw some yellow in here. Make it look electric.
Holy crow.
Okay, now I'm gonna change the
He might
direction.
kick you out if you say that again.
Change the direction of my brush because this rock comes down on an angle or on a vertical. I'll blend that in. Some of you guys would leave that and then you'd end up with a line. I'm liking this. I'm thinking maybe I'll change the painting a bit. Because this will bloom out now because your eye won't go to it, but it'll give you the volume that you want. So this is what technique? Wet into wet. Right?
Did you spray first?
No.
No.
No, it's
So
too close to the
because-
sky.
yes, because you're.
God, that would be dangerous. Okay, there's a little bit of green here, which I'm gonna try to maintain. And if you put green over gray, it will be a gray, kind of a grayish green, which will be fine. And then over down in here, if I'm working my way through,
What do you need made up?
the textures are made up. I studied antiques so much, I know what a surface looks like that I want, and I've lived with that horse for enough times, I don't need to be totally true to the photograph, so I make it up.
What color is that then that you're using?
Burnt sienna, so I can go darker if I want. And I gotta have this pick up. I think Sandra's the only one that's really captured this wall over here going down on an angle. And I need to have a little bit of purple to transcend over to make sure that they all belong to the same family. This is a tree that goes up. This is Japanese painting. You push down on the brush and then lift up. And I think there's probably 2 or 3 things that go like that. Scumbling in the wet's really fun, I have to admit. I don't have to worry about the color moving around because it's already doing that for me. And I'll go back into there maybe one more time and get it a little richer.
There's worse words I could say. Burnt sienna and orange, is that orange?
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of orange in there. I'm
Oh
gonna leave
my
that.
goodness. How's that? Is that better?
I like that, I'm gonna leave it. And this is gonna get jagged because there's still rocks back in here, like that.
I still gotta work on my wrist.
Is that chest burn sienna, sorry? Or is it how much I get?
Hmm?
Is that chest burn sienna?
No, I think there's yellow,
Little bit
there's a
orange.
bit of orange in there, and there it
This
is.
blend
So
that's on.
let's put
on
some
the
more in there.
rim.
Oh, that's
Doesn't that make it happen?
a lot.
Sometimes you just wanna walk away from your painting feeling good. that you're on the right track. So it'll be overnight getting this to dry, and I can start playing with some darker values.
Sienna,
Burnt
that's
sienna.
one sienna, and a little bit of orange in it.
Notice I don't dwell on it too much, I don't overdraw it.
Oh, the battery's low. You'll get, yeah, I can. I hope.
I don't know if I'd call it scumbling, because I'm actually painting from
Inlets.
wet on wet to dry. But it's working for me, I like what's going on. It's easy to move the paint around, just what I like. And then I'll just kind of highlight this a little bit more and call it a day. It's going to get kind of complicated back in here, so I don't want to define too much right there. I like it broken anyways, because that's what water does. There. I want to work up here and then work my way down. So I want to, we're at maybe 6. I want to get to 10. So I'm going to do this in 2 stages. I'll probably speed it up a little bit, but we're going to build. Sylvia, we're going to go from light to dark. Right now we're in our mid values. I want these colors to come through. But what you've learned is you've learned to take the yellow and a little bit of orange and put it over here. And actually it was there. This is balance, right? And there's yellow in the water, there's yellow over here, it's in 3 of the 4 boxes. It's a bit of a stretch, but I'm aware that that needs to be balanced, otherwise it looks unbalanced. This is still strata, little rocks that are coming out. This little patch is sort of an under, cavity under the rock, and this kind of comes forward. There's some really thick black lines here that represent, wider crevices. So watch you don't parallel them. Be careful, all right? They're uneven. This one actually has a little jog in it. Conscious awareness of not having straight lines, because it's boring. You gotta jag it up a little bit. And paint around this leaf. If not, we're gonna use some gouache, because I think you need that. That sits on the front of the rock and sells the rock. This comes forward and this goes back. So it's nice to have, even the little dots in the water, that's what that does too. So they're kind of really handy little devices to show dimension. And it's for me, it's kind of magical. They kind of sparkle and, like little elves running around fairyland. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to work my way down, create some weight. And when this is wet, I may have to come back in here 2 or 3 times. I'm almost there. And then I'm going to do maybe a little bit of drawing. But if you don't get the rock, make sure you don't have a pattern that is not correct, because it's just going to kill your painting. It has to be kind of random. Rock is hard to paint because it's random. But down in here, it does have a rhythm, because they're all layered, and just make sure they're not parallel. You got to kind of stagger them a little bit and paint fast, and scumble those little dark areas. And then come down in here. I'm going to make this probably a little darker in an orange while I'm letting this dry. So I'm going to come down here, and the thinking is, at the end game, I want weight, mass, and volume on the bottom to anchor the whole painting. It has to. If you don't, it's going to fly off into space, and it's not going to, it's not going to reach that emotional tension that I want you to get from the viewer. So dark to light, to maybe dark a little bit to play off the rock, but this has got to be kind of a really nice warm brown. So what I would mix in there is probably some burnt sienna. Watch the sepia. Some of you are using it right out of the tube. That's a dead color. It doesn't have any life in it. You gotta mix something else with it. Okay? Burnt sienna is the answer. Even maybe warm it up with a little bit of red and maybe a little bit of orange, but not too much. Okay? And that's gonna be, what number is that? 8, yeah, at least. Okay? And it's gonna be over here. We've got maybe a 9 over here and a 10. And if you didn't get the rocks, don't panic. It sets up a pattern, and we need pattern, but we can scratch them out with a razor blade. Okay? If you have them in miskit and you peel the miskit off and you're gonna freak out, I know you are, because I would. You need to maybe paint over some. It's okay, right? Just create a variety of rock, different sizes, different shapes a little bit. Some of them down here have a little action going on in the bottom, but make sure you blend that in. Don't have hard lines underneath the rock. Okay, and then this is just fun. That's just the lizard crimson. Dark over here, light up to here, because we want the eye to come into this area. So we've got the sky. So the idea is, it's a Barryism. It's called the sandwich effect. The sandwich effect is, if you take this part of the painting, go dark to light, this part of the painting, go dark to light, you will bring the eye to the middle. Because the eye will get lazy. If it looks at dark, there's nothing there that intrigues the brain. So you go looking for the light area. Oh, what's in there? And you'll do that in 2.5 seconds. Okay? So, any questions with that? You notice the water too? Look how light that is. Look how dark that is. So we want to do that as well. Okay? And if you wanted to put the little reflections and squigglies in here, you can do that at home. It's okay. I don't even know if I have time to do it for you. And I haven't put my little wedge in here, because that right there, I hate that shape. That is, like, it's that shape there, but I need that rock in there to break it up. Okay, any questions with any of that stuff? Okay, we're still on the fan brush. And we want to get all those textures that you were doing on Saturday that are driving you crazy, we're going to make them darker and push them back. Okay, and that's the fan brush on that wall. Okay, but don't lose the little hits of yellow, orange, and green. Very important. Okay, otherwise it'll be flat. And a little bit of burnt sienna here in the rock to bring this up, and then we'll come around and make a circle. Okay? See, you guys have learned so much. I tell you, at least I think you have. You know, you're looking at me, shaking your head, going, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
It makes sense. You gotta do it.
Yeah, and, well, the more you do it, the more you will start to do it automatically, right? Okay, let's, do you want me to?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, oh, all right.
Not even a question.
Okay, the other thing
Can I use your mistakes for you?
The other thing I want to mention too is green is probably, in my mind, the hardest color to paint with. Some of you have used it right out of the tube. Don't do that. Green needs some warmth. The stuff that they make in these tubes are acidic. That's the best way I can describe it. I always mix orange or a little bit of burnt sienna in the green to warm it up. And I struggle with green myself. People like my greens, and you have no idea what it takes to get there. So this is kind of, you know, that's a gray green. That's awful. That has no appeal to me at all. You go watch the amount of Payne's gray you use in that.
The other yellow that you wanted us to use, could you not?
Aeroline?
Yeah, could you not put some of that aeroline?
Yeah, you could, but it'll lighten it up. But we could warm it up.
That's
Let's
not-
do it.
That's not aeroline.
No, it's lemon, you're right. Look at that. That's something I never do. My daughter leaves lids off her tubes all the time. I don't. I'm not gonna use too much of that. Okay, so that's the green. I'm gonna mix up now this value that's gonna get that, and
So your green has what, sap, a little bit of beryllium, and a bit of paint?
little bit of yellow.
There's a bit of umber there.
Yeah, burnt sienna, and whatever came out of that Stadler green, a sap green that doesn't even measure. Okay, watch the sky, you don't wanna be, you know, no dots in there. I know.
That's awesome.
Cause I'm lazy too, and I will find a color on the plate that I will use before mixing up anything, cause I'm lazy.
You realize
I
if
hate-
you drip on the tissue, it's gonna go right through.
Well, it might get absorbed, let's hope it doesn't. I don't have any, I have a
Trying to keep
drawer
you
full
honest.
of paper. In my studio, some of you will remember my little trunk where I keep my paints and stuff. It's an old, it's not old, I bought a brand new Canadian Tire. It's a mechanic's toolbox. It'll last me a lifetime. It's metal, love it. I had it sanded down and then had it lacquered, and it was pure white. The ones you buy in the art store have particle board on wheels, just terrible.
Sometimes you can get them on sale at Princess Auto.
Yeah, right
And
on.
also Princess Auto opening as well.
Is there? Ooh, I love that store.
So does my husband.
My wife who started in pastel, I bought her mechanical toolbox, Canadian Tire. So she liked it so much, I bought her another one, and she keeps all her pastels in there. She pulled out a drawer and it's like a color spectrum.
That's a really good idea.
It is really, yes, and she's very happy. The drawers are in and out very quickly, nothing gets, and it's metal.
Also, it's less expensive than if you went to an art store and you bought the same thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, there's my Payne's Gray. I don't know if you girls can see that over there.
Do you have a website?
Now, that's a lot of water. When I go back into this again, it won't be that wet. It'll be drier. So, dry brush technique, very slow, very difficult. Gonna be very impatient about the whole thing. This will forgive some of the sins that you've committed. This is your confessional. Anybody Catholic?
Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Oh,
Did you go to
Grady, oh,
confessions?
Grady.
Huh?
Oh, Grady.
Irish.
Did you go to confessions?
Oh, yes, I did.
My mom made us to go to confessions every Saturday.
Oh.
Every Saturday. And we did the Holy Days of Obligation. And we did Good Friday. We did Ash Wednesday.
Careful, you're about to kill your poor little leaves.
He's got miscut on it.
Oh, does he? All right, no,
Yeah, I
no,
got
no.
this.
Good
That's
call,
okay.
though. Good
Yeah.
call.
You're watching, that's good. I don't mind at all.
I'm like, steady on.
And as I'm talking, I don't concentrate as much as I would if I was
I
at
like the
home.
way you twisted
I
your
know,
brush,
I know. I still don't understand how yours doesn't look like mud. Because,
How do you mean?
well, you
Like,
get into these dark, colors, and I just feel it's really hard to,
the complimentary.
yeah, to get a look or a texture. But you are.
is it the fan brush technique which screws everybody up? Or is it the color?
It's both. But see, you're still maintaining space and light.
Oh, because I'm not filling everything in,
I know.
right?
And I don't
That's,
know.
when I do that, I get really nervous because there's no room for another layer of texture.
No,
And I am
no.
so obsessed with the texture part.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks really good.
I'll put it right up in here, it'll disappear a little bit. Okay. And down in here, there's quite a silhouette against the sky.
I killed my sky, I think I got trees right
I think too, you know, if you look at my brush, that's why I use a bristle brush, cause it's,
Wide,
it spreads out like that, and the nylon brushes don't.
No.
They stay the same, you'll end up with the same brush stroke, that's the issue I have with nylon. I hate it. Cause I need the fan brush to give me that I call it unpredictable texture. Cause I do get people at shows and stuff, and they wanna know how I get that texture. Everybody paints differently. There's a guy in the gallery, he's from out west, and he paints roads. Steve, you would like his paintings. I can't remember his name now, but all he does is these roads. But the grasses and stuff he does on the side, it's like, I don't know how he does it. They're awesome. His name's on the tip of my tongue here. If you Google Loch Gallery, you will see a lot of, it's really hard to get into a gallery in Toronto. You gotta be really good. And you gotta be busy. You gotta be producing enough paintings that they can sell. And there's a young lady who I really admire. She used to work in the gallery. Her name's Anya, and she was a secretary, awesome writer. She's written up my website, and her dad shows in the gallery. And oddly enough, I don't even want to ask her because I'm embarrassed, but I'll say, you know, I want to say, Anya, how come the gallery won't take you? She's not good enough, but she is. So I don't get it. So Tony and I are gonna go down to her opening because she's become a really good friend, and we're gonna surprise her. It's gonna blow her away.
Where's she gonna have her opening?
In Toronto, in Yorkville, but she's at a different gallery,
Okay.
and it's not fair. I think she should be with us. Okay, now I'm gonna go back into here. Notice I'm not pulling from the puddle because I want it broken. This makes me nervous because now I gotta play with it, make it broken. And then the rock starts to go this way, and there's a rock that kind of comes down there like that. And then there's one that's there. I'll just not go down too far. And then there's this area that's a little darker. So all of these little bright colors that are really obviously hard to look at on Saturday are now getting unified by one color. It's pulling it all together, at least I hope it is. But I would go home, if I didn't get this here this weekend, I would go home and pick away at this thing for hours, just so I could show you that what's possible, because I want it to work. I wanted to show you that these workshops, even though I'm under the gun, and obviously you can see what these guys have done over there, they've taken their paintings home. They are beautiful. You guys should be proud of yourselves. Yeah, that's coming along.
I have a question, it's not to do with this, but I was looking at your book
Yeah.
and you have beautiful icebergs in there.
Oh,
And in the front, there's shark fins in the water.
yes.
Why do you put shark fins in the water?
Because
and listen, and
that
no,
is-
and no birds in the sky.
That is, that is such a nice question, and it's flattering, thank you. When I was painting that, it was too safe looking. And it was in the 90s, and it's this argument that I had with Doris McCarthy. I don't know if you know her. She's a very famous painter. And she was adopted by the Group of Seven as being a very good painter. because she was going up into the Arctic, like Lauren Harris, and painting icebergs. So because we were both watercolors, I called her up one day because we were fighting the paper. I know this is a long answer, but.
That's okay.
Everybody admires Doris. She was never married, taught high school, but she was respected by the group of 7. So like a few of the artists that were not adopted by the group of 7, they would often go and paint with them. Like Banting was a painter, Fitzgerald was another painter. Eventually, Alex, or sorry, now I'm stuck for a name. A.J. Casson was asked to join, which was like the ultimate compliment. And I met him. He's a pretty cool guy. I think his art's awesome. Anyways, we were both fighting the paper. And I called her up one day and she goes, "Oh, Barry, I know you." I go, "You do?" She goes, "Oh yeah, I've been following you. Why are you painting icebergs?" She goes, "That's my thing." I goes, "Doris, Lauren Harris was painting icebergs before you." And she laughed. She thought that was so funny. Okay, touche. Anyway, I'd go to her openings. I'd drive all the way to Toronto for her opening just to give her a hug. Yeah, she was quite the lady. I liked her. Okay, now I'm gonna come down. We don't want ordinary. We want somebody to take you to higher level thinking and, maybe learn something from what someone's done.
Did I
Have you
miss
mixed,
something?
have you mixed burnt sienna with that?
I don't think,
That's
maybe.
That's not just orange.
I don't know, I just pulled up because I don't like mixing color. I told you that.
I know, but.
I'm lazy.
Yesterday.
Oh, I probably did, because that orange will kill this painting. So I'm gonna need more, so let's do that, because I need more weight down here. So I gotta go darker.
I missed this, I wasn't here when you talked about the
I
other
walked
side.
in later. You were-
Oh,
You have
right.
to tell Sandy she missed it,
Yeah.
what he said.
Oh,
And he's not walking funny today?
he's describing my art as I'm painting it because I'm bored. I had a painting in an auction.
The painting that he
He
donated.
Donated it. Oh, how did it go? The
Said that
auction?
to you?
Terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
I thought maybe you.
But I promised the Lions Club I will donate another one next year, and they went, "Really? After that?" I goes,
Did
"Yeah."
people gasp?
Yeah, they
Oh
did.
my
They went,
goodness, what a
"Oh,
jerk, sorry.
yeah." No, he was a
Such
jerk.
I thought maybe they
I-
would use it to
Paint
sell
like
tickets.
He's lost his job because of that. He's not be doing. He won't be doing that anymore.
Ignorant in the true
What the
meaning of the word.
Oh my
I can't
God.
even fathom that.
And is that a volunteer position? that he
Yeah,
has?
pretty
Oh,
much.
it's all volunteer, yeah.
Pretty
Probably
much.
just doesn't really know art.
Well, he didn't, and he had no sensitivity really. He thought I painted because I was bored.
But that's not how you introduce people.
Even if you think that, you
Right.
wouldn't
You
say
build
that.
them up.
That's
and-
not the way you
Right.
introduce people.
I agree, of course.
Like, that is crazy.
And Glenn, who's been a member of the Lions Club for 45 years, he's the guy that puts the Christmas float together. He stores it in his barn, and every October he brings it out and he fixes the little,
Yeah, all the parts.
all,
Do you wanna
yeah,
know
yeah,
something?
he has to rebuild.
Do you know what? My husband did that to the sleigh.
What?
They brought the sleigh over and he
Which,
painted and,
is he
Yeah,
still alive?
yeah, this is a repair on it. Was
On the one they use in Elora?
Yeah,
Wow, because I met Santa Claus sitting beside him. I goes, "How come I didn't get the bike I wanted when I was a kid?"
And what did he
He thought
say?
that was funny. He goes, you got a lump of coal." I goes, "Yeah, I got too much coal. I could have had a fire."
I have pictures of our little grandkids in it in our garage, sitting in it.
Really?
Yeah.
See, well, Glenn would repair the what do you call them? Not the,
Mechanics?
The runners?
yeah,
Ken
the.
worked on all that stuff, but
See, I'm stuck for words now. I'm getting old.
Join the crowd.
What's his, I couldn't even think of the word float last night. I'm sitting there like an idiot.
Everything
I'm
we
so
did yesterday.
I'm so tired, I can't think.
That's, yeah.
Okay, watch what I'm doing, because I'm also concentrating on my painting while I talk to you. So I want that a little darker, but I want to zigzag it and have it broken. And then over here, I'm gonna take this, hardly any water, and this is very dark in here too. Yeah,
I guess if you're 9 and 10 up in that area.
what's that?
That area gets up to about a 9 and 10.
Yeah, so this is where this needs to be here at this point.
But you're on coat 3 now, right?
Yeah,
So how are you gonna
third.
get it up to 10?
Well, let it dry.
And which color would you mix into
So
that
anyways, I was gonna,
then? Which color would you mix into that then to make it darker?
sepia.
Okay.
And again, sepia on its own,
This is just
it's
beautiful,
just
this color,
awful.
Because that's exactly what it's like.
And,
that,
and,
you know,
and
little
there's
bit of a
stuff,
muddy bone.
yeah, and there's rocks that are
Yeah,
underneath
yeah,
the water, so you put that wet into wet. But when we get the sepia going, we'll do the rocks underneath. Yeah, so what they said to Glenn, my friend who invited me to this dinner, and these are probably all the richest people in town. Glenn won an award for his volunteering of 45 years and working on all kinds of things. He's just the nicest man that I know. He was a real estate agent, and he's just awesome.
Why didn't he introduce you?
Well, because he's quiet and humble. That's who he is. He doesn't, he won an award and didn't even want to give a speech. People are going, speech. No, I'm good here, guys, relax. Yeah, that's what they said to this guy who gives so much of his free time to the town. He's such a giving, he lets me park my sports car in his garage for the last 10 years and won't take any money. So I give him paintings. He's got like 10 of my paintings now. He goes, don't give me any more paintings.
Running out of walls.
I goes, Glenn, I gotta give you something. No, I don't want anything. He's got lots of money. He did really well in life. But that's not the point, right? Anyways, he's one of the nicest guys I know. And that's how that guy treated him. Okay, so there's a little reflection going down there.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Okay, so I can still paint, and I don't want to take up, I'm taking up all of your painting time, you guys.
I just take a picture for Juanita. She needs her steps.
All right. Okay, I'm just gonna do the blue and then let you get going. Because I want this to go dark to light, and it's going to be a little difficult because that orange is wet. So I gotta be careful using the light in the room. I'm gonna stay away from the edge. I don't want it to blur out. It's almost a little bit of a hard edge. I'm just gonna water this down because I want this blue to be a little on the lighter side. And now I don't have any blue. Look at that.
I think we all would win.
I just made a big boo-boo.
You could walk away and all of a sudden this orange
Could you imagine?
comes into the blue.
Little stream of
You
dirt.
need a clean plate.
I better take a picture.
I can get you a clean plate.
No, I'm gonna use this because I've already used that color.
Okay.
And that's gonna be really dark. I'm gonna do this.
Hannah, are you sending to Donna or am I?
You send.
All right.
I'm not good at that kind of stuff.
And I'm just gonna make it a little broken, cause I hate painting like I've got a roller in my hand. And, I'll go over top of that again, and the colors under, the strata brush strokes will come through in the bottom at, on the next pass. So I'm always about texture, always breaking it down. You know, a lot of artists don't do texture because it's hard. and it takes time. There,
That's nice.
it's coming. And I'll throw a little bit of blue up in here too, which is,
Stone.
that is just pure fan brush, that rock right there. The fan brush is perfect for painting rock. And I'll keep that little ledge, like the light's coming in and hitting that. Okay. Now, orange and blue, complementary colors, the brain's gonna like that right away. Okay, questions, concerns, snide remarks? See my half moons? It's the hammer, it's the hammer. So I've mat into that, I do lose a quarter of an inch. But it's worth it for me, I tell you, the staples for me is still the answer. Be very careful, I have pulled in too far, and I've lifted it and broke the paper back there. I've done this, and ripped the paper back there, and there's no way of fixing that up, unless you do what he did.
Yeah.
And you could cut the paper, that was brilliant what he did.
Cool. That'd be something I'd try.
Oh, that's breaking right there. So, getting that lifted up, and then I take my wire cutters, and without using pliers and lifting that, that's not good, because you will rip the paper again. So I just kind of do that.
Scary.
Okay,
Scary.
and I take my time.
Yeah.
It's worth it. Okay,
No half moons there.
so next time, if you take my workshop, you make sure you bang those staples back in and do this for me, because I usually put more water. This is probably the smallest little sky I've ever done in a workshop right in here. So that's why we're getting away with it.
Now, if you have just a bit of darker blue there.
Okay. If I was on my own, I would have had this done by now.
You wouldn't be talking.
I'm moving around working with you guys.
That would be the panes and the violet, right?
Oh, my. We're gonna do that now.
Still broken, still broke.
You need about a 7 or 8 there, Barry?
Yeah. Less water. I might even have to go back in here. I don't wanna think I am, but on occasion, I finish my demonstration paintings because I come up and sit down and I do what I did yesterday. I just kinda paint. You guys come up and talk to me if you want. But I always finish what I start. It's one of my rules. And if I don't finish it today, I will take it home and I will paint on it tomorrow till it's done.
And you'll send us all a picture of it.
And I do that.
Oh, that sounds like.
Then you guys get mad at me because I do that and you haven't finished yours, so you're angry with me.
Well, we still have yours to look at.
And I have the opportunity.
Online then to finish it.
And then my granddaughter's 3 and
Maybe.
she's gonna be.
Okay, I really like how sparkly that is. We may go to Steve's little gouache tube. I have white, but he's got gouache, like it's even more opaque, which I like.
Did your picking method not work there? You know, pick it out, you were saying something about picking it out?
No, not that area, it's too,
Too much?
I wanna pull all this together now. So, it's the same colors I have here, I just dipped it in the water, as you saw that. That will give me the varied strata that I want. If you're in there with a little brush, your little brain already goes to parallel lines and And this is something you have to fight against. And this area here,
What all have you mixed in there, Barry? Blue, Payne's gray, and what do you dab?
I'm looking for moisture. I'm really bad, I hate
Yeah.
mixing paint. I hate it. I was just looking for something a little bit warmer, cause I wanna create a hollow in there,
Yeah,
like that. And then there's this in here. So I'm kind of faking the rock structure doing this. I'll go home and with a little brush, I go in there and pick out some of the little rock bits. There's one kind of a ledge in through here, and I'll drop it down to here. I'm gonna do something that's gonna surprise you here in a minute. So you can do it home, or maybe here if you want, it's up to you. Ready?
something we could do at home. Oh, it's better. With the fan brush, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Better than a toothbrush. Oh, I spatter everything.
You gotta watch, you don't overdo it. Because it's wet, it's kind of blooming out on me, which is okay, cause it shows that there's a splatter underneath the wash. So it has a little bit of a dimension to it. Can't get that. And it's amazing how you can control that splatter. I'm not kidding. You can really, it's like taking a shot at something. I want to develop the power for you.
Change your water.
Yeah. Be a minute before I get this color mixed up, so bear with me. You're right, I was using Da Vinci burnt sienna. Kind of surprised me. Windsor Newton sepia, dead color, right up there with black.
We have a very, very good sports hall of fame in Peterborough
For
as
black,
well.
I use or
Volunteer
sepia
with them.
and Payne's gray. It'll give you a really nice dark value. It's not a black. There we go. There we go. That's the color I want. Now, a little bit of red.
Sepia and Payne's gray?
Yep.
Okay.
AQ. Yep.
And burnt sienna.
No, that's cadmium. I need alizarin crimson. Is it over there? It's like it. Oh, I use it a lot. You can tell. I love it.
Ever use quinacridone gold?
No, you know, it's funny. I was just about to address other colors. I have a color palette that I know blends together, sits together. You know, I'm comfortable with the different values. I know what it'll do for me. So I don't go venturing off, there it is, using other colors. I have a palette, and it's interesting, if you look at the International Art Magazine and they feature artists, they will give their palette out. And it's interesting what they use. And they probably have, you know, repeated that over and over again throughout their whole career. Because it's a comfort zone.
I'm only asking, I did take a class one time from a lady and she like quinacridone golded everything just to make it brighter.
Well, that's like me in Payne's Gray, it's just a nice, warm blue.
I have that in my folder, or watercolors.
That's not
I do have it.
necessary there. Okay, you ready? All right.
Oh.
I'm gonna be going back in here probably with a number 2 brush to pick up the strata. And I may throw a little bit of green down in here because it's a reflection of that. So I've got green. Okay. Ooh, kind of nervous.
If you had biscuit down there, would you be taking it off now?
Where? No, where?
In the water?
No,
In-
not yet.
In here,
Not yet. Maybe in the second pass.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I gotta go around these rocks. Okay.
No way.
Okay. I'm gonna play, I get nervous, so I wanna tiptoe.
Oh my gosh, that's so dark.
I know. That's why I'm nervous. It comes honestly.
No, I can't distract you, 'cause that was
I know. Don't judge me.
Oh, we're
You're
not
a teacher,
judging
we
you.
have to judge you.
Well, that's part of the nervousness. I gotta paint well for you, and it's like, I don't always paint well.
This is
And that's why I'm scared. You guys are watching me, and I'm just as nervous as you are. Okay, so this is a little lighter in here.
This is the one everybody gets to see, you think.
This is real painting. This is me on the edge. You guys can go home now. I'll finish it, make my own mistakes, thank you, and then fix it up.
I want to put blue in there
Get it
too.
to
Trick is, he knows how to fix it. Yeah.
Syrup color.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I gotta play while it's wet. I gotta make sure that I get the right brush strokes and the stroke going in and the harmony. I don't want any lines in the water, cause water doesn't do that. But I like it broken. I don't, oh, gee, I missed, I just thought of it. I wanted green in here, damn. Shit.
cocky poo.
You want us to think that fast on our feet?
Well, I have to.
You're thinking like 2 steps ahead as you're painting.
Not really. I've got a problem in front of me and I'm trying to solve it with you guys watching me. I'm trying for too much. I'm trying to get too much going so that you guys can see the result.
I just find it unbelievable.
So then what would we do differently if you're not doing this right?
I'm okay with you just doing one at a time.
You guys all have that starting point that's,
At this
I
point,
walked
we'd be
around and
dripping
you
in
guys
sweat.
have that nice warm orange. And I'm thinking, that's gonna save your painting. I know it. Cause you're already there. So I'm not nervous for you. You guys are already
Yeah, sure.
getting ready for the water. If you notice, I don't have any lines, I don't want any lines, and I'll show you something else, it's kind of a neat trick. Can someone get me a Q-tip? Thank you, Connie. I got my own, thank you. Can you get me another one?
Are you about to do the rocks?
I am.
I was just
I'm
gonna
gonna
ask
try
you
it.
if you could try
Yeah,
miskitting
yeah.
before you put that dark.
I'm going to try doing the rock.
Hmm.
Now this, wow.
Yep.
Shit. You don't mind if I swear, do you?
My mother would say, "You eat with that mouth?"
You kiss your mother with that mouth? My mom swore.
Actually, so did mine.
And she'd
but
go to
she's
church
still
every
like that.
Sunday. Like, oh my God,
Went to confession.
Ma, you are such a walking contradiction. Well, she'd get so mad at us, she'd swear at us.
All those kids that she
How
had
many
to raise.
boys?
9.
Of course she's gonna swear.
Yeah. My dad never did.
No,
My
that's
dad,
all
I
my
never,
Because he went
no,
off to
he
work.
wa, it wasn't his thing.
No, my dad never.
My mom, yes.
One of the best things
It
about
was funny.
retirement
See, intelligent people swear.
is that I can swear. Yes.
My mom always swore in Dutch because she thought we didn't know she was swearing.
We melted down. It sounds so good in Dutch.
I
Doesn't it?
never had so many teachers around me. all
Can
my
you
life.
speak
I
both
stayed away from
languages?
school.
I can understand Dutch.
Yeah?
I'm
Now they're all around me.
I used to go to these
I can
conferences
speak.
Okay.
Can you? When we were in Holland, I was so impressed with the locals because it'd be, these two women were having lunch and I'm lost and my wife and I are looking for directions and they were just having a sweet old time between the two of them. And I went up to them and I said, do you speak English? And they looked at me in perfect English and said, absolutely.
Everybody in
Of course.
Holland
And I'm
speaks
going,
English.
do you know what we're saying? Oh, yeah, perfect English. Like, and then they go back to their, Dutch conversation. I'm going, damn, that is so hot. I love that.
Because they learn English in school.
I know, but they're so good. I mean, it was perfect English. There was no accent, nothing. I was
They
impressed.
have
It's
accent.
just too perfect.
I was
Like,
impressed.
because they've learned it in
They
school.
learn
like
British
that.
English
To
too.
the British and this and
Yeah.
this got a bit.
Well, let me tell you, I was,
okay,
okay, I'm gonna maybe throw a little greener. Pay attention. I'm gonna use a little more, a little stronger green in here, just to create the reflection of the trees that are in the water.
So is this the sap green and the burnt sienna?
This is just sap green now, if you're paying attention.
Oh.
It's getting late in the workshop.
That's why I didn't become a priest.
Good reason.
I thought so. I was an altar boy for 9 years. I was gonna be a priest.
They're looking for a
I,
new,
I quite liked what was going on, and the priest was a family friend, and I really had a lot of respect for him, and our church was a big part of our community, and I was a big part of the church, so
they're looking for a new pope.
never hurt me being a Catholic. Some of that stuff enters my childhood.
In Vatican.
Vatican, in the basilica.
Oh,
So I had a long shirt on.
Oh,
for
I'm
my
sorry.
skirt, so I just pulled my skirt down over my knees and.
I would carry two big scarves, one for my shoulders and one wrap
Yeah, I
around
went and
your
bought a
knees.
scarf for the,
Yeah.
for the Vatican.
I felt so sorry for Catholic girls in my class because the church was across the school on the same street, and we would go to the church, and the girls had, if they didn't have a hat on, they would put Kleenex on their head.
Yeah, they did that up at Midland before you
Like,
go
come
into
on,
the-
guys,
forget what
that's
it's
not
called, the
nice.
shrine or something.
Yeah, Martyr Shrine.
Martyr
Yeah.
Shrine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not
Kleenex on your head. I'm like, oh, gosh.
My sister too, my sister and I, we were great buddies. And she didn't hang out with any of us except me and my family, because I was the only one that would join her on skipping occasions and hopscotch and stuff. I love that stuff. It was athletic, and
Skipping's hard.
it is, but I boxed. I was a boxer when I was a kid, and I could do pepper, man. I had really great skipping skills. So when I used to skip with my sister's friends, they go, shit, he's good.
Oh, it is, it's hard.
You knew where all the girls were.
And, well, I
Very
did,
cool.
but my sister taught me how to dance. I'd go into her bedroom, and I'd say, Janice, put on the Supremes, let's dance. And she would. She'd teach me how to dance, my sister, and we're still best of
We don't
buddies.
believe you. Think you should show us a few moves.
Oh, my cousins were from Winnipeg. They would come up and stay the weekend, and you want to talk about like hot cousins? Like, holy cow, they were good looking. And they would they would go into the living room with my sister, and I would sit on the couch, and they'd do the Supremes routine. And they'd have, the girls in Winnipeg would have all the dance routines down and teach my sister, and I'm looking and going, I can't do that. That is just so difficult. And that's what they did.
No, I only had one cousin that was a girl. The rest of us were all boys. I think there was like 10 of us. So she had a hard
10
time
of
just
you?
being one. Yeah.
Ten-
She was
10
out-
cousins?
Well,
I'm trying to, I'm sorry, Brad. While I'm talking and while Brad's talking, I'm trying to bring these two together. I'm trying to, see that?
Value.
Because there's too much contrast going on there, so I'm, okay, Brad, I'm good. I'm just letting people know what I'm doing. And I'm pulling from the plate. You see it's a drier solution there. I never used to teach plate management, but I used to catch myself, that is a lesson all by itself. Right there. And if you're running into problems in your own area, just check out your plates. And that's what I would do. Some of you don't spill out enough paint.
It's too expensive.
She's not even Scottish. She's so, poor Heather, she's part Scottish, and she would squeeze out these tiny little dots of pigment. I said, Heather, make a puddle. My God. But you couldn't say much because she couldn't afford much. So I tried not to tease her too much. She had a big family. But what a woman, holy cow.
Waste not, want not.
She was homeschooling all her children. And I had a prejudice with that. I said, because I was a high school teacher, I said, Heather, your kids are gonna not have great social skills. I'm sorry. You don't have enough, they don't have enough friends, and they belong to a church. And I said, they're gonna miss out. Now, they grew up computer geniuses because their dad was into computers, and they had all of their friends from church that they would see on Sundays, and they're all married to these beautiful guys who are well hooked in the industry of computers or roofing. They're all successful. They live in big houses. It's like, damn, And they don't do drugs, they don't drink, they don't go to dances and be total idiots and stay out all night. They're just really nice kids, right? And that was Heather. That was her and her husband that orchestrated that family. So I take that back. I tell you, man, those kids, I have so much respect for her family. And she is lovely. I mean, she teaches now. She teaches adults and
The art?
yeah, she teaches how to paint.
She has
She was with
classes.
me for 10 years. And
Find her on Facebook. What's her name?
who said that?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, you sound like my wife.
did you get here?
Oh, about half an hour ago.
No, really?
Yep.
You've been there for half hour?
Well, I've been here since you bucked on this.
Oh, shit.
You threw on the Hershey's chocolate syrup.
Yeah.
What's Heather's last name?
Wadsworth.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and her and Gail are really good friends, and she belongs
lives
to a
down
little
the road.
art group that they paint every Monday, like you guys do, like a group of 7. Okay, that's enough for me for now. I know, I'm sorry. I'm talking too much, but I needed to get this thing moving so that you can, yeah, so you have some skills to, okay? Now, I didn't do what I wanted to do. Brad wanted me to make some rocks. Next thing I would do is pull the mist kit off of all of this, start painting around the rocks and make them little loopy, and picking this out with brush stroke, picking that up, all the stuff that's under the water. And actually, I could show you one thing before you leave. How to do a rock under the water.
Yeah.
Okay? I know.
Totally the reason I took the course.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sort of like this.
Not totally, but
Okay, you load up
One
the
of the-
brush
that was-
for the mid value,
I saw the painting, it was like.
and you kind of,
Yeah.
oh, I see one there. There's a round one there, like that.
Okay.
Those are all the areas you went with your cube tubes, right?
I'm sorry, can I paint first?
Don't leave.
Don't we?
Okay.
Yeah, don't leave and pack up. Just give me a sec. What was that? I'm teasing you, but.
No refund
Was that
for
all the
you.
areas that you did the Q-tip with?
I didn't do any areas with the Q-tip. I just lifted some of the darks that were there, so I think when I was doing that, I forgot about doing the rocks for you.
You could do the Q-tip, right?
I still can. And you know what else you can do? You can put mist kit down
That's what, yeah.
when it's dark,
Yeah, that's what I was.
and then
thinking.
lift it up, it'll come up lighter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Wouldn't have thought that.
yeah.
I wouldn't think about this.
So,
So you can put
Wouldn't have
mist kit on
tried
in
that
different
with
layers to get different,
Council on the.
yes.
different values through your water.
So I kind of zigzag around. There's a little rock there. So and a one right beside it. And then
they're there?
I see them.
See it.
My little brain goes, oh, that's a rock. And that was from the previous
that's-
techniques that, so, and I don't want it outlined, so I gotta erase the outline. I gotta get rid of that. Oh, Jesus. There, like that, so, and like that, I'm gonna blend that in, there's one here.
So those are the underwater ones that you're circulating.
Yeah, and these ones will sit on the top, and I may have too many, so I'll paint over them. Like that one, let's get rid of it. See what I mean? I'm going, oh my God, I hate that. So I'm gonna get rid of, it's not even a nice loop.
No, but
It's
you
a
can
terrible,
You can redesign it, right?
yeah, you can go, that's what I'm showing you. We can actually,
Yeah, well, that's what I thought I was
we can actually get rid of one and then just accent the other. So this is kind of finicky stuff, but, and then, hang on, I'll let you go in a sec. I got this bluey gray color that I'm gonna do this. Dry brush,
Yeah,
dry brush. Dry brush in there, so it's a rock. And you can't do the fan brush, it's too small. So you just give it a little bit of weight on the bottom, like that.
yeah, that's.
Okay, questions?
Question for you. So we did the misket right on the white. Could we have done the yellow first, then put misket
Yes,
on?
yes.
Because then you wouldn't have these bright white
Yeah,
rocks,
but,
right?
but in that statement, I can do this.
Oh, okay, so.
That's white,
Gray.
but I'm gonna go here and highlight each rock with yellow.
Mine's gonna
Because I can go back.
And only the rocks in here, not in here, though. In here, would you highlight them with yellow as well?
No,
Okay.
no.
I didn't think so.
I would probably leave them white.
Okay.
Those are supposed
And
to be rock.
this is still too light.
The water, whatever.
It's the same, this is flat. It's the same value, so I gotta make this darker to go up, make that lighter. I really need that little peak up there. All right?
Yeah. It's a huge step.